What's going on, guys, and welcome back to our adventures here on the multiplayer server. Still no idea what they're planning on calling themselves. I think it's called ATP Miners and Crafters at the moment, so still working a little bit on the intro, so do forgive me. As you can see, we're over here on our island now, and I've managed to get a bunch of chests laid down, and I've moved all of our stuff over from the Badlands. But what I'm going to do quickly is go back over to there and just show you the little bits of changes that I've made so far to the Beehive Farm. So yeah, let's just head over there. Alright then guys, so we're over here at the Beehive Farm, and as you can probably tell instantly is that I have ended up having to put a roof on because the bees were just wandering off into the middle of nowhere and never coming back. But I've bred them up to the point now where there, I do believe, are a few more bees than there are hives for them. But they're hard at work constantly, and they are creating more than enough honey jars and honeycomb in order to keep us sort of sorted with the blocks. I still need to find a decent block to put on top of the hives in the middle, because now and again you do get the honeycombs landing on it. So yeah, can you see anything happening there? I know that that one's full, ready to be harvested. But what I've ended up having to do is also put the trapdoor out here, because the bees kept on pathfinding onto the actual trapdoor and not moving from it. So there's definitely an issue with the pathfinding for them when it comes to trapdoors, I can tell that. And I do know whenever I go through the main door, they tend to just want to quickly dart out. If we go in here quickly. So they're all busy at work, and it still looks pretty nice in here. I'm not too overly pleased with what I've had to do with the honeycomb ones in the middle. But it's just an effort in to stop them from shooting it out everywhere. And it does work to the extent so much, but it's not 100% guaranteed to work. Sometimes they will land on top, sometimes they'll land too far on the edge, but I didn't really want to put full blocks around them and like do little columns in the middle of each one, otherwise it would just look really janky and not very nice. And the whole point of this sort of farm design was, as you can see, we've got honeycomb there, let's see if it all gets picked up though. Yeah, I didn't really want it to look janky, and the whole point of this farm design is that we can make it look aesthetically pleasing. Can I hear the minecart? See, it's still not picking them ones up, I don't think. So we are still getting quite a bit of loss on the middle ones, and I really don't know what to do about it. We could actually have tilled soil, but I'm fairly sure the fence post would also stop that. But if we have tilled soil around, and then we could just do loops of hoppers, normal hoppers underneath the tilled soil, it would then be able to pick it up. But how do you reckon this place would look with just tilled soil down the centre? I think that's something that I might actually have to look into doing though, just to prevent the loss of the honeycombs. So don't get me wrong, there is still a bit of loss, but it is still picking up quite a lot, and considering the fact that I'm not planning on using the honeycomb building blocks in many of the design ideas that I've got for buildings in the future. But if we head on over to here, so we are still getting some, and I have already blocked a bunch of them up, and they're over at our new place on the island. What have we got in here? That's where I was breeding them, and then these are getting all the honey bottles, and I have stocked up the bottles by about a couple of stacks worth in each one now. So that will cover us if we want to do any AFK sessions over it. If I manage to get my words out. It's early in the morning for me recording, and usually I record in the evenings, but I felt like playing, and I wanted to make sure that you lot was all caught up before we started a new project, which we are definitely going to be starting today. This one's pretty much done and dusted, and we've got a bed over here in case we want to sleep and make sure the bees carry on working, just while I'm doing other bits and pieces on the other computer. Away it goes again. Yeah, so what we could actually do is, if we have tilled soil, we could probably ultimately just get rid of the central minecart and just have hopper lines down the centre. There'll be a lot of hoppers though. It'll be like the stretch of this times 6, because we'd want it to cover 6 portions. But it would make getting around here easier, well, sort of. We'd still have to have the central activators for the dispensers. Oh, you know what? I've not actually put, have I? Oh no, I have put shears, about to say. Also, what I wanted to do is run a rail underneath all of these barrels, just so that I could run a hopper minecart underneath and pick up all of the honey bottles, because at the moment having to run round and open each one to get the honey bottles out is just a little bit of a chore after doing an AFK session when you just want to quickly grab the stuff and craft it and then leave. So what I may do is actually just do a indent and just run a hopper minecart underneath. That's something I'll do in between sort of episodes when I feel like I really want to, because right now I want to get started on a new project. And the new project today is a... Well, before I tell you what it is, I want to explain why. It's because we're over on the island and we're primarily going to be working in and around the ocean, I've not 100% landed on a build style for the ocean yet. I still need to move my nether portal up here, because there's no point me going to our temporary base over there, because there's absolutely nothing there anymore. So what I wanted to do is, because we're going to be working primarily in the ocean, around the ocean, and sort of living like Poseidon, king of the sea, hopefully by the end, is we need the proper tools for the job. So the tools for the job when you're working in the ocean, you're guaranteed to need some tridents. So that's the farm we're going to be working on today, is a drowned farm. Now I've not created a drowned farm in Java, and I've not looked up any drowned farms in Java. The only thing I've looked up is the spawning conditions for drowned in Java. And by the looks of it is that the drowned can spawn in oceans and rivers. By the way, we've got all of our portals up on the nether roof just to make getting around a little bit easier. We have Mac to thank for that, although that makes it a little bit difficult trying to get underneath into the nether, but I'm sure I could tinker around with the portals in order to fix that. Now, the only bad thing is trying to figure out which way to go. So our new base is at 361 positive, so we just head this way. Yeah, so the drowned spawning mechanics is they can spawn in the oceans, but they can only spawn below a certain level in the deep oceans, and that means having to clear out an area underneath the ocean in order to create some form of spawning perimeter, and then find a way of coaxing them into a sort of kill chamber. And that is sort of a no-go, because it's just way too much work than what we need it to be. We just need it to supply enough tridents for our own personal use, so I don't want to go crazy or nothing like that. That's my island. This is where we're going to be working today. So the other spawning place is river biomes, and there's no restrictions on the height as to where they can spawn, which means we can whack a farm right up in the sky. Now, the only reason outcomes I know all of this is I looked up on the wiki, and they can spawn any sort of Y level, but within ocean biomes. Hopefully, have I got a bed here? Yes, I have. So what I've done is I went around the area closest to where my island is. Can I get on here? Thank you. All the zombies are coming for me. So the river biomes is that I went around looking for decent sized river areas, and I managed to find a fairly decent large chunk of one over here. So what I've done is I've mapped out the four corners. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, which sort of encompasses the majority of this river square here. Now you can just do spawning platforms of the exact river shape and size, but I think it makes the farm, well, I think it would make the farm look pretty janky. So we want to go, I think it's 128 blocks up before we start doing where we are actually going to be AFK in. And then we can take the actual farm itself all the way up to sky limit, drop water down onto either, I think fence gates is what we're going to be using rather than signs, because signs can be a little bit finicky trying to place, because you have to place one on top of the other, then you need support in line at the back for the first ones to go on. Yeah, so I'm thinking fence gates, spawn platform for them to drop, and then I don't know if drowned can get pushed in water streams, but we can try to push them down a water stream and into a main collection tube, and then take them up, give them full damage for a kill chamber, is what I'm thinking. But yeah, I've managed to gather some resources over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these, well, I'm just going to take up one with a ladder on top so I get back and forth. I'm going to take that up at least 128 blocks, and then I will sort of figure out, and then I think I'm going to have to build a dirt platform. Yeah, how much wood have we got? So 128 would be exactly 2 stacks, and yeah, I can't even take all 4 up. So should I harvest some more trees and just Yeah, what I'll probably do is I'll probably take all 4 of them up just so that we looks like it's got some sort of supporting structures to it. Although it's unnecessary. Yeah, you know what? I'm probably going to take up a separate one in the middle of this up 128 blocks. And then from there, start building out. Oh my god, I'm in an iron. I'm just wasting your time here, aren't I? So what I'm going to do, yeah, I'm just going to figure it out as I go. And once I get up there and I know the logistics and I've laid down the initial platform of where we're going to be putting our, I want to say, fence gates that I said. Yeah, once I figured that out, then yeah, I'll bring you back. Alright then guys, so back here, and I've managed to create the platform that we've got to lay our gates on. I've also done a little bit of a boundary line using stone bricks and stone brick slabs just to prevent spawns on the outside. Now I don't know if this is necessary. Now if you know that I'm doing something wrong, like you're face palming while watching this, then please let me know in the comments, because this is the first time I've had to try to create a drowned farm like this, and I'm going purely on the wiki info and the game mechanics that I'm aware of, rather than actually knowing what I'm doing, which is probably wrong. Like, yeah, so if you know, then just let me know in the comments and I can make adjustments and changes as to how I should be doing it. But one thing that I ask you not to do, don't just go copy and paste in the URL of a tutorial video. You know, I really want to get rid of these bloody clouds, they're just in the way constantly. Clouds off. There we go. That's much better. I'm tempted to get the realistic sky as well, because I really do like the realistic sky. So yeah. So like I said, don't go posting or pasting the URLs of tutorial videos, because I'm not going to watch it. If I wanted to watch a tutorial video on it, then I would have already. But yeah, I much prefer sort of learning as I go, rather than just getting all of the info first of all. Much more fun this way anyway. So I've got a lot of gates to go placing down, so let's quickly get this done. Alright, so we've got all of the gates done and they're all open, and we are now ready to go and take down all of the dirt, but I don't know what way is easiest. Can we? Yeah, see, it's going to be a little bit tricky. If we do that and then we just run across, I think we should be able to do it. Yeah, I'm going to take this all down, and then we're going to end up having to build another platform. Oh wow, I almost knocked myself down there. We're going to have to build another platform up top in order to put the water down, with the same sort of system that we're going to have to put the barrier around to make sure that the water drops straight down rather than sort of spreading out and dropping all over the place. So yeah, once I get that all up and I get the water ready to be laid in and dropped down, just so that we can see if we get any spawns whatsoever to begin with. Because I still have no idea if I'm doing this right. And by the way, I do know that you can place the fence gates without having items underneath them. But it's just a case that it's so much easier having a platform to put them on, rather than trying to put them on one another. So yeah, I guess I'll catch you back in a bit. Right then guys, so we've got the platform up at the very top. We're very near build limit, just so that we've got maximum spawning potential, and we've got 2 block barrier around where the water's going to be dropping down. That's just to oh, I didn't think about this, did I? The blocks are freezing. Is that going to happen to all of them once I've done it? Now let me finish filling the water in, and we'll see if we run into issues regarding the water freezing. So if it's just the odd ones around the edges, then that's not an issue, but the river itself shouldn't be freezing. So yeah, something to keep an eye on. Let me just hopefully get all of these in place, like so. And then I'm hoping once we've broken this guy, they should start filling in across. And we are going to have to break this guy, and we should be happy days all the way. Thank you. So now we've got a layer of just solid source blocks of water, and if need be we can probably put roofs over the bit to set up freezing if it becomes an issue. But the thing is that on the wiki it says the drowned need sky access in order to spawn, so I don't think we can make it permanently dark unless there's a block that... Really guys, come on. Unless there's a block that stops light from going through but doesn't prevent sky access. I think leaves may do it because they do let light through, but I think it's at like a diminishing return as the light passes. Not too sure about this though. With the water freezing. How many slabs? Now, if need be, we can come up here and sort that out, but for now we're just going to let the water drop and pray that I've got my measurements right. Just so, oh, wrong tool. Just so that we don't make a mess down below. Oh, guys. Oh yeah, when you break ice as well, it doesn't create a water source block if there isn't water underneath it, or a block underneath it. I'm getting my words muddled up. Yeah, it looks like it's only doing it at the sections that aren't actually the river biome, so I don't think it's too much of a concern. It looks like it's just doing it on the taiga sections, like the taiga biomes. Which is a bit of a shame because it will sort of mess up our aesthetic feel to the place, which is what I was going for with the square. But if we can put a roof over it to make it permanently active, and that's if it works in the first place. I have asked the people on the server not to sleep tonight, just so that we can see if we do get any spawns or not. But I'm just going to have to wait and see by the looks of it. So the dead mobs, when they spawn, they should just sink straight to the bottom. And the water isn't shooting out all over the side, which is... Oh, come on, guy. Which is a good thing. Oh, really? Stop getting in my way. Oh, really? I just broke you. Oh, I don't want to go falling in there. Well, we're getting fish. That's something, I guess. Getting a lot of fish. Oh. Okay, so all the water should now be dropping, and that's not really what we want to see, is the fish. What we want to see is drowned coming down. They shouldn't be able to fight the current. Well, the fish probably can to a certain degree, but the water washing them down should hopefully stop them. Really? What's going on here? Okay. Ghost block. I'm going to take this down to the wood. And I know they can't spawn within 23 blocks of the player, so perhaps we should get some building blocks on us. And let's just go 23 blocks out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, say about 20. So far all I see is a lot of fishes. Why is there a light source right here? Have I got a torch somewhere? Not that I can see. We are getting the edges freeze up for the different biome, but by the looks of it, the water's all being stopped by the fence gates going down, so I did actually get the measurements right, which is something at least. I'm not too sure if we're high enough or not though to prevent spawns from down below, so let's just go up a few blocks because we are above hills at the moment. So they should spawn anywhere in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep an eye on this through the night time and just see if anything does spawn. Oh, we have actually got a drowner spawned now. Just the one, mind you, but it's a positive sign. And he's just slowly sinking. Also my worry is that I may have dropped them down too low to the point where they may despawn by the time they go to like a drop shoot. So what I want to do is drop them down to the bottom, and I've made it so long downwards so then there's optimal room for them to be able to spawn. And then I want them to go into like a collection platform and then up a tube into a kill chamber. Now, like I said, I'm not expecting great returns on this, considering it's such a small section of a river biome. So the fact that we've got one spawn and we've got another 2 people online, which are also going to have mobs and stuff around them taking up the spawn cap. But seeing one spawn at least is a very positive sign in my books. But what I'm going to have to do now is create sort of like a wash tray for them to land in, wash them down to a central collection point, take them back up to a kill chamber, drop them for the full damage, and then yeah, happy days there. And hopefully by the end of this episode we may get a Trident. But by the looks of it, the thing that I've created most is the world's largest fish tank for salmon. And they're just swimming up and down. They're not actually getting affected by the water flow, unfortunately. And really, snow. Well, it's a great time for me to start recording because you probably can see about as much as I can, which is absolutely efful. Yeah, after I've got all the collection system in place, it's going to be very bog standard, mob elevator with soul sand. There's another one that I can see just spawn on left hand side, so happy days there. Yeah, once I've got all of that in place and I've got the kill chamber sorted and our sort of AFK area ready for them to sort of build up, I will bring you back. So yeah, catch you back in a bit. Alright then guys, so by the gurgling you can probably tell that we are actually now getting drowned, feeding into the system, and it took a heck of a long time to actually sort out. What I ended up having to do is I ended up having to lift up the entire bottom section excuse me, from to bring it closer to where the kill box was. It was either that or lower the kill box and then lower the surrounding terrain. And that was because the bottom was so far down that they was actually despawning before they had the chance to actually get in. So it was over 50 blocks away. But now that it's within the 50 blocks, we are actually getting quite a lot spawn in quite a short amount of time, as you can probably tell shooting up the chute now. And I've only been killing them for about the better part around about 5 or 10 minutes or so. And we did finally manage to get a Trident, which was our main goal. We're also getting the heads because we've got that data pack on. So it's always nice to use them to decorate the place, and I've moved the nether portal from down below up here just so that we didn't have to trek all the way up this ladder every single time, because that was getting a little bit of a chore. But yeah, the spawning rates are pretty good, but it's only good when I'm by myself on the server. So the others were kind enough to hop off the server just so I could sort of show you it working at its sort of full efficiency. And it's quite constant, it's quite steady, it's not overly powered, it's not going to be used for like an XP farm or anything, but it is good enough for what we need it for. So let's just give these guys a swipe. Got a bunch of heads, another Nautilus shell there. We've got looting on our sword, and okay, we didn't pick anything up, but we've got some more heads. Any more tridents by any chance? I've got to let all that feed through. So we've just got that feeding into a couple of hoppers and just a little kill thing, and we've made it shorter. Actually, there's some XP there. There we go. And we've just made it shorter so the baby ones can't get through. But yeah, it's not too bad. I'm quite happy with it, and this should hopefully get us the tridents that we're after. I do actually want probably 2 or 3 tridents. I want one for actually fighting with the loyalty and impaling. One with Riptide, so then I can get about quicker. And also, we've managed to get like a mending villager. By we, I mean Steak has managed to sort it out. And we've actually, I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, so I may just be repeating myself. It's the next day since I was recording, so trying to finish it off and remember what I explained and what I said or not. This guy's got a trident on him, so no, he dropped us a Nautilus shell, didn't he? Well, at least that's another one. And we've got like 5 more Hearts of the Sea in order to make into conduits, which means we're probably going to have to visit the Guardian farm again. That guy dropped the piece of gold, and we've got 14 heads, so we could probably give them to a few of the lads on the server. But yeah, I'm quite happy with the way it's turned out, and the little kill box that we've got up here is completely spawn proof, so it's safe for me just to sort of AFK and let them build up as and when I want to. It's dangerous working up here because the guys that with tridents, when they spawn in, can actually fire the tridents out, and because there's no trajectory lost when they're fired in water, because obviously they're meant to be used underwater, they come flying very quickly and they half knock you back. Like, I almost got killed a few times. I did manage to get killed by a salmon when I was lifting the whole box up, there was a group of salmon and they sort of bumped me out and I didn't manage to land in the water below, and oh my god, my stuff went everywhere. But yeah, I'm quite happy this is all now done, and it's another project quite polished off. I may do a little bit more decorating, but I don't think it's going to be necessary because it's sort of out of the way from everyone else. And I'm sorry about that, my phone's usually on silent. I'm not too sure if you heard it, but yeah, I definitely did. But yeah, I'm quite happy. I'm not sure if I said that, because we've now got a Trident. I just got to wait for some more and I can let the other guys know that they can hop back on server when they feel like it. And then I'll usually come over here if there's no one else on the server to come farm some Tridents. But what I'll do in between this episode and the next is more than likely sort of soup that Trident up, get the riptide mending on it and whatnot, and try to get some more Tridents in order to... Did I say get Trident to get some more Tridents? I'm not too sure. I'm going to try to get some more Tridents and have one purely for fighting mobs under the water, and then once I do get that one, then I can go fight in the Guardian Temple and finish off the Elder Guardians in there. Come on guys, give me a Trident. You dropped a head, but not a Trident. How about you? Any Tridents? Nope. They're all being tight today, so... Oh, you? Nope, he dropped the head. Do you reckon the heads are diminishing the chances of getting a Trident? Or is that completely separate loot table? Not too sure. I've got some more gold. Happy days. Yeah, so that's going to do it for me today for today's episode, because I know it's probably going to be dragging on a bit. Next episode, we're definitely going to be working on a closer source of an XP farm, because it's around about a 600 or 700 block trek in the Nether to get to max double skelly spawner, and we have actually found two skelly spawners relatively nearby our island, which we can definitely use for an XP farm. So I'll look forward to getting started with that in the next episode. So yeah, I guess I will catch you in the next one. Bye bye.